This is Solo P1. We are live debrief of the Austrian Grand Prix. Episode 9 of the debrief. We're joined today with TOTO Hammer. He's not on the video today, but he's audio. So TOTO Hammer, how are you, bro?
Man, I'm good.
So, let me just get this all sorted here. There you go. I got it now. I've got it. Finally got it.
Webcam all good.
Yeah. I got your logo. Because we did actually go live not long ago, but nothing was ready. But we're live now. When we done the review yesterday, a lot of stuff went on. Turn this fan off. A lot of stuff went on. It seems like loads of people was getting penalties. What was all that about?
I know, man. Listen, there's like, I think Perez got one lap, 70. I think towards to like 2 or 3 laps towards the end.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Verstappen weren't getting anything. Also, the Red Bulls, like everyone was getting penalties, like Ocon.
No, but after the race. No. I know about them. I'm talking about the ones after, because when we went live yesterday, we done the live race reaction. When we went offline about half an hour later, the FIA was giving everybody penalties. You know, everybody was getting penalties from yesterday.
What were them penalties about?
Track limits. It was all about track limits.
I know, just they said that post race as well about there's lots of like 5-second penalties just getting given out.
Yeah.
After the race,
everybody was getting penalties.
They said that on Ted's notebook as well.
Lewis Hamilton, I didn't watch Ted's notebook, you know. I've still got to watch that. Lewis Hamilton got penalties. Everybody was getting penalties yesterday, and I don't know what was going on. And it, like you said, Red Bull.
You know what?
Go on.
No, you can land first.
No, you land, because I'm trying to find something. Go on.
All right, look. The thing is, that I think at one point where Verstappen was complaining that that these track limits warnings are a joke. Well, you know, lots of people were getting them, and except from him, he never got one in the race. But like after the race, I think people were starting to think it was kind of a joke, because every time you see like the car's too big for the corner, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's like, it definitely is. And the drivers are complaining that it was a joke. Some people said it was a joke.
And yesterday,
some people never complain, but
yesterday,
that's
when the grid position yesterday. You remember when Lewis was in front of George Russell because of the penalty after he went behind George Russell, which is, I don't really mind. It's only one place behind, but you know what I mean. The FIA yesterday gave out 12 penalties. 12 penalties. Max Verstappen dominated the race, like everybody knew, and basically there was the FIA then revealed that it had been unable to review in excess of 1,200 reports of violations of drivers having strayed over the painted white line with all the wheels during the 71 lap race. So they're basically, what they're trying to say, there's been 1,200 reports and they couldn't access them through the race. The stewards, meanwhile, were presented with a list of deleted lap times from race control that show cases of infringements that were not previously brought to attention. How convenient. These have been reviewed and another further 12 penalties awarded on the following basis. 3 infringements should have resulted in a black and white flag warning. 4 infringements earn 5-second penalties. 5 infringements earn 10-second time penalties. Thereafter, a reset has been allowed. An excess of number of infringements, meaning 4 fouls earned another 5-second time penalty. So basically, penalties what were given out was Esteban Ocon. He was the biggest casualty of the new evidence presented to the stewards. He was capped four separate penalties that combined of 30 seconds. So Esteban Ocon got a 30-second time penalty, and this was after the race. This was after all the celebrations. This was after all the pageantry.
30 seconds.
30 seconds overall. You got all together. All these penalties added up to 30 seconds. What do you think of that, Toto? What's going on with F1? And why are they doing this? Why?
Listen, I don't know. I've got 2 points to evaluate on. There's one at Sonoda. Had a 5-second penalty for track limits. He served it, but then FIA was about to give him a 10-second penalty. He was under investigation about he didn't serve it. He didn't serve the penalty correctly. So there you go, another FIA giving out another penalty, 10 seconds. But look, man, it's just I just don't understand about this FIA. The FIA will never ever be credible. Never ever be credible.
No.
Sorry I didn't evaluate on my second point because I completely forgot about it.
Go on.
And Sonoda, I think the only one that stood out for me. He had the 5-second penalty, served it, but then under investigation again for not serving it at the right time. And plus, a new rule for the FIA, you can't even touch the car, even if you can't even put a finger on the car if you have to serve a 5-second penalty. So even more strict they're putting on here.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be too strict.
It is now.
You saw that today, Austria. How many penalties we're getting awarded?
So, you know the original grid, yeah? The original grid was, I think Leclerc, we had Max Verstappen was 1, Charles Leclerc was 2, and Perez was 3, okay? So, the stewards, I'm looking at this as a result of the 4 review, Sainz has dropped 2 places to 6th place. So Sainz was 4th, right? But now officially after the penalties is in 6th place in the final classification. He was initially handed a 5-second penalty, which served as his second pit stop. But that has now been upped to a 10-second hit. The Spaniard falls behind McLaren driver Lando Norris and Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso. Seemingly, Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton has moved from 5th place. Now he's moved from a 5 to a 10-second time penalty. So basically, you remember when Lewis had a 5-second time penalty during the race for black flags, right? Now he's been handed a 10-second time penalty, and he will fall behind his teammates George Russell. So basically, he's in 8th place now. So he's behind George Russell by just 1. Because originally George Russell was.
10 seconds for what?
No. But basically, they gave him another 5 seconds because he got a 5-second in the race, and they gave him another 5-second time penalty after the race. And really, they should have got this during the race. They got all the penalties after the podium, because I remember watching it on TV. I remember at the end when it finished, I didn't really watch the podium because I'm sick of that music. No offense to where he's from, I'm just sick of it. I went into the kitchen, made myself a cup of tea, came back. I started setting up my video, done my video after, and then about an hour later, then I started hearing this news on Twitter that multiple drivers are getting penalties. So I don't know what's going on. So basically, he falls behind Lewis Hamilton. Esteban Ocon, like I said, he's the biggest casualty. Pierre Gasly now he's got a 10-second. No, he's now 10th after final result. Williams duo Alex Albon 11th, Logan Sargent 13th, and AlphaTauri driver Nick De Vries 17th, and Yuki Tsunoda 19th has also been penalised. So yeah, Pierre Gasly, Logan Sargent, Tsunoda, the 2 Williams guys, Nick De Vries and Yuki Tsunoda all penalised. This is a joke. And it says, reported by Autosport, understands teams were frustrated by the delaying of the policing of the track limits since they might have otherwise been able to warn drivers when they were shown the black and white flag. So basically, it just doesn't sound right to me. They all just got penalties. It seems like some of them wasn't even warned. And the FIA just said, right, we're just going to penalise you. But Checo which went over the line multiple times through the race. Lewis saw him, complained. The Mercedes complained, and what did the FIA do, Toto?
They gave Hamilton a penalty and then never gave.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I never said that. I said, what did they do? What did they do to Perez when Hamilton complained? I know they did give him a penalty, but what I'm saying is they didn't give him a penalty.
Oh,
did they? They didn't give Perez
a black and white flag.
Yeah, but they didn't give Perez a penalty,
They gave
did
Perez
they?
a black and white flag.
But did he get a penalty?
No.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. But he should have got a penalty because he went over that line multiple times. You know, he went over there multiple times, which warranted a penalty. But because he Red Bulled, he got away with it. And that's what the point I'm trying to make. So I'm looking at these now. The final results. The final results now is this is the end of the race now. This is with all the penalties on. Max Verstappen 1, Charles Leclerc 2, Sergio Perez 3, 4, Lando Norris, 5th place, Fernando Alonso, 6th place, Carlos Sainz, 7th place, George Russell, which should have been Lewis's. Carlos Sainz is dropped as well. Lewis Hamilton, 8th place. Lance Stroll, 9th. Pierre Gasly, 7th, 11th place. Alex Albon, 12th place. Juan Yu Zhou, 13th place. Logan Sargent, 14th place. Esteban Ocon, 15th place. Valtteri Bottas, 16th place. Oscar Piastri, 17th place. Nick De Vries, 18th place. Kevin Magnussen, and 19th place. Yuki Tsunoda. And last is Nico Hülkenberg. So, I don't know what to tell you. What would you do if you was the FIA?
Listen, look. You know why Hamilton got in a quick penalties to like the other drivers. Like Lando was complaining about Hamilton that he went over the line so many times, but then they gave Hamilton straight away a penalty. As soon as Hamilton complains about Perez getting a penalty, they wait until
they come out the pits.
End of the race.
No, they waited till no. The first one was when he came out the pits.
Yeah, no, Hamilton. He had the penalty when he came out the pits, and it hampered up his strategy.
I know.
Hampered his strategy because he served the 5 seconds, obviously, before they have any construction on the car. And then so when he came out the pit lane, then when Hamilton's behind Perez, he was complaining about the where it was going off lots of times. Like Lando was complaining about Hamilton. Hamilton got the penalty, but then Hamilton was complaining about Perez. To wait till like 5 laps towards the end and give him a black and white flag, which you know he's not going to get a black and white flag again. He's not going to get another strike for it. So look, the FIA just needs to be more quick on the button because they seem like they're not doing that. Like the different treatment with Red Bull.
Oh yeah.
This is how I see it, because Perez got a penalty like a couple of laps towards the end, which Perez ain't going to get another black and white flag again. It's no point then. They should have gave Lando complained. They gave Lando the decision
quick,
but then Perez nothing.
He went over that line multiple times, and he should have got a black flag, which he did, and then he should have got a penalty. But I'm talking to Lando Norris. I was reading this article today from the journalist Andrew Benson, chief of F1 writer for the BBC. And he said he had an interview with Lando Norris leading up to the Silverstone Grand Prix. I'm going to go over it briefly. Lewis Hamilton has been a very inspiring person as Lando has made his way through Formula One in recent years. The McLaren driver has said, Norris says his relationship with fellow Britain and 7-time world champion, 8-time world champion, is growing. And that over the last couple of months, we have been getting to know each other a bit more. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing, said Norris, 23 years of age. I have so much respect for him and what he's achieved in Formula One. He's part of the reason why I'm a Formula One driver. It's so weird thinking I'm racing against him. Norris, who made his debut in 2019, has established himself as a leading light of the new generation of drivers. He said he's been trying to learn from a 38-year-old Lewis Hamilton. I'm not always the guy who asks for a lot of questions to these kind of people to know what we're like. But I've got so much respect for Lewis Hamilton, and I hope he sticks around for a long time. It's kind of cool. He said it's kind of cool for Norris to relive my inspiration. So basically, he's trying to say he's one of the reasons why I become a Formula One driver, and he's gotten to know him a lot over the last couple of years, and he said it's cool. So it seems like he's got a very close relationship with Lewis Hamilton, which is nice, a fellow Brit. You know, it's always good when the two Brits get on. What you reckon? You think it's good for the Brits to get on? Harmony.
Of course, man. Of course, I believe that like all drivers should get on, but that's never gonna happen, is it? Some drivers are gonna hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
You might have a good for. It's good that all fellow Britons get along. It should be like that anyway, man. You can't just tell on your own kind. Just stick together, man. That's all it matters.
They'll all get on until they go wheel to wheel. Then the friendship goes out the window.
Yeah, there's no.
No
friend racing.
You know how it is being a Carter. I'm sorry if anyone's watching this. This is the debrief. We are talking about the race, what happened with the race, with the penalties, because the race wasn't really that exciting. Not really. But what the controversy was about the penalties, and this is why we're talking about it on the debrief. It was about the penalties, and it was ridiculous how all them teams have got penalties. It is absolutely ridiculous. The FIA needs to sort the strategy out. Listen, at the end of the day, right, put a barrier there, put a deterrent like a little barrier, put some tyres on the side. What's that going to cost? Put a barrier and put some tyres there as a deterrent so the drivers don't go over the line. Because if the drivers see the tyres, make it slightly wider, because you can, because there's enough runoff area there. Make that side slightly wider, just a little bit. Put a barrier there, put some tyres there, and that will be a deterrent for the drivers not to go over the white line. It's very, very simple. It's not going to cost much. You can use the tools that are there. You don't have to go out and build something. You just put a barrier there, just a small barrier, or tyres as a deterrent. Very simple, really. Very simple. So that's it, really. That's all I wanted to talk about. We've been going for 20 minutes, and this is the debrief. You got anything to say to plug about your channel, bro? You got anything to say about your channel?
Nothing else.
You doing anything this week?
Nah, man. Probably football video, maybe about the transfers, maybe a recording about the Kickaback podcast, or maybe a video about F1, or just FIA scandal. Not really a scandal, but you know, just stupidness from the FIA. I might do a recording on that, so I might do a Kickaback podcast.
Because you remember what's this week? Silverstone. So we're going to do a special video. We're going to try and do a special review this week. It's going to be either Wednesday. We're going to be doing a mid-week prediction at Silverstone, and me and TOTO Abba is going to be talking about it this week on a Wednesday, and that will be on both of our channels. So look out for that. Well, I'm going to put the thumbnail up tomorrow, and it's going to be for the Wednesday, so you guys can get to see it and get it tuned in. And it's going to be a good stream. It's going to be about 20 minutes, probably 25 minutes, and we're going to be talking about Silverstone. So see you later, guys. I'm tapping out. And Toto, I guess, is tapping out. And we're just going to play some music, and then we're going to head off. See you later, guys.
See you later.